Is the Google Pixel 9a worth $500? Well, that's going to depend on a lot of things, especially you. Let's talk about it. First, let's talk basics. The Google Pixel 9a starts at $499, and that comes with 128 gigabytes of storage. You can get a 256 gigabyte model for an extra $100. If you want more than that level of storage from a Pixel, you'll have to jump up to the Pixel 9 Pro, which at 512 gigabytes of space costs a whopping $1,219. Taking a look around the Pixel 9a, we've got the same display as the $799 Google Pixel 9. So that's a 6.3-inch AMOLED screen that gets super bright. It's very easy to see indoors. And when I've taken outdoor pictures with this thing, the screen stays visible, which is great. This is true of all the new Pixel phones, by the way. Since this is a lower cost phone, you get a bezel that's thicker than the other Pixels. I know it's not huge, but that's something people are gonna notice. Like almost every modern phone, you've got the flat screen and the flat sides, but Google did something different with the Pixel 9a. It went with a flat back. If you don't know, Google embraced this large camera bar feature in previous generations of Pixels, including the 8a. The 9s used a pill-shaped bump. Pixel 9a, nope, no bump, just a small raised bezel around the camera array. Now, why does this matter? You put it on a desk and it doesn't wobble. It won't get caught on your pockets like it does mine. And you can hold it in any orientation and it feels right. And I want to believe that with a thicker phone, companies could put in larger batteries because we want to use our phones, not slice bread with them. If you don't care about camera bumps, well, I am sorry to have wasted your precious time. The thing is, Google's hardware designs are not exactly flashy, and they're not really supposed to be. You're using the phone, not admiring the device. Inside is the same processor that's in the more expensive Pixel 9, 9 Pro, and the 9 Pro XL. That's great for all kinds of AI tasks and offline transcription. You do get less RAM compared to other Pixel phones, but you might not notice that unless you use lots and lots of apps at the same time. In day-to-day use, I have not seen an issue yet. Again, odds are you won't be admiring the Tensor G4 inside. What you need to know is what you can do with it. The Google Pixel 9a lives up to Google's history of excellent photography. I went out and shot some photos with the Pixel 9a and the Google Pixel 9 Pro. On a bright day, their results were pretty much identical. You get excellent colors and preserved details even in dark areas. Google has a tendency to make colors a little more saturated while brightening the whole image, so they are not capturing reality as much as making a memory. If you like that Google look, it's right here on the Pixel 9a. If you don't like that Google look, it's right here on the Pixel 9a. So here's some camera spec stuff if you care. The main camera is a 48 megapixel shooter, but the Pixel 8a used a 64 megapixel camera. That's a downgrade, right? Not necessarily. This new sensor in the 9a captures more light than the old one. That should result in quicker focus and clearer images. Additionally, neither phone lets you shoot full resolution images. For whatever reason, if you want to shoot full resolution pictures with the main Google camera app on a Pixel, you must buy a Pro model. If this ticks you off, you may not like the Pixel 9a because its 48 megapixel camera shoots 12 megapixel images by default. But sheer megapixels are not everything. The 9a has plenty of camera tricks. The Pixel 9 series brings a feature called Add Me. If you look at all your family photos and you notice that you're not in them because you're the photographer, Add Me fixes this. The phone guides you through steps, so it can combine multiple pictures into one singular image. Is that capturing reality? No, but it's something you can do. Let's say you wanted to share a video, but the audio is all strange. The Pixel 9a has Google Audio Eraser built in. It analyzes sounds in video so you can remix the audio. Now, Samsung's new Galaxy S25 series has a similar feature. That starts at $799. Is this going to make you run out and buy a Pixel? Probably not, but it's very cool to have. There are also some fun camera features like Reimagine, where you can edit an image by selecting an area and writing a prompt. Let's say I wanted to show this plate of pancakes in space. Now, instead of chartering a very expensive flight, I can hit Edit and then reimagine this plate with the prompt. I can even use Google's Gemini Assistant to help me shoot better pictures. How do I make the colors pop better?
You'll find options to adjust the brightness, contrast, and saturation, which should help those colors stand out.
What should I do first?
Okay, you're in the Edit menu now. To make the colors pop, try tapping the Adjust tool at the bottom. You can then increase the saturation to to make the colors more vibrant.
Can we make it more realistic though?
You can try dialing back the saturation a bit. Right now it's at 100, which is why it looks so vibrant.
How about that? Is that better?
Yes, that looks more realistic. The color of the phone is still nice and vibrant, but it's not too overdone.
So Gemini actually looks at the image that's on my screen. It's telling me how to use my photo editing app to actually change the color. Can Siri do that? The Pixel 9a uses a bigger battery than the Pixel 8a. In our battery test, the Pixel 9a lasted 13 hours and 15 minutes, while the 8a survived an hour or less. Now, should you get the Pixel 9a? That also depends on what phone you have now. If you've got a Pixel 8a, there isn't a really huge reason to jump over to the 9a unless you hate the camera bar with a passion. If you've got an older Model A phone, the Pixel 9a is definitely worth a look. If you're on a different Android and want to see what all the hubbub is about, the Pixel 9a is a great way to find out. The phone will get 7 years of OS updates, Pixel feature drops, and 7 years of security fixes. That means it'll be up to date for a really long time. If you're using an iPhone and you're looking to get away from Apple everything, the Pixel is very similar to an iPhone. Google controls nearly everything by making the software and the hardware. The overall interface is very similar to modern versions of iOS. And if you are Android curious, the Pixel 9a is a great lower cost way to try it. The hardware will even feel similar, and you can securely unlock the Pixel 9a with your face. Just be ready for somewhat useful AI instead of whatever Apple Intelligence is supposed to be. If you want to know more, check out my in-depth review of the Google Pixel 9a. We've got articles that compare the 9a to the Pixel 9 and against the Apple iPhone 16e, the new low-cost iPhone. Oh, that lasted over 21 hours in our battery tests. One last thing, for whatever reason, the Pixel 9a does not support the fastest form of 5G called millimeter wave. If that bothers you, I'm sorry. If you don't know what that means, you could learn more at PCMag.com, or you can go about your day without knowing. Let me know which phone you're going to get, and if you've got questions. I'm Mayaz Akhtar, and I'll see you online.